Hello, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. Dr. Reese here. First of all, I want to welcome Angel, our newest hire on our Rockstar team. Welcome, Angel. He's at the Green Valley location right now training. And some of you already know him, so welcome. We also have birthdays coming up. Jen and Crystal have birthdays coming up this week before the next wonderful Wednesday. So happy birthday and happy New Year. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about an airplane that flies from LA to New York. If you can imagine a straight line from Los Angeles to New York City, straight line, and a jet takes off and flies from LA to New York, that jet is only going to be on that line about 5% of the time. The rest of the time, it's getting knocked off of track from headwinds, crosswinds, tailwinds. There's just different things that make that jet go off course just a little bit. And the autopilot function of an airplane alerts the pilot when it's off of that line from LA to New York. When it goes off of that line, it starts veering because of wind. As soon as it hits the limit of 5% off track, the autopilot alert goes off and says, hey, we're off track. Let's correct. So then it goes back towards the midline, crosses that straight line from LA to New York, and then goes 5% off track this way. And then the alert goes off again and says, hey, we're off track, let's get back on track. So basically, a jet zigzags its way all the way from New York to, from LA to New York. So the same thing happens now with cars. If you go to change lanes in a car, it will try to prevent you unless you put the blinker on and the car thinks that you're trying to change lanes. It's an alert system. And I have always told patients over the years that we also have an alert system with humans. We call it New Year's resolutions. We only do it one time a year. So we write goals at the beginning of the year, and then a lot of people don't really check to see if you're on track or off track until the next December. And by that time, for a lot of people, it's too late. So the trick, I believe, for success in any domain is how fast can you, A, recognize that you're off track, and B, get back on track. So it's different for everybody, but I would encourage and invite everybody to try to come up with limits and alert systems to change your behavior and to make sure that you're on track more of the year than you're off track. It can be daily, weekly, monthly. I just think that once a year, New Year's resolutions is just not enough of an alert system. Practically, I used to notice this in patients all the time with belts. If males, men, would come in with a belt, and if you look, I would look at their belt loop. If they had a really worn belt loop that you could tell that they've used that belt a lot on that belt loop, and then they have lost a little weight, you can tell they use a new belt loop, and the old worn out one is not the one that the loop goes through. I can tell they've lost weight. Opposite as well, if they've expanded the belt a little bit and the worn out one is this way of the buckle, I can tell that they're growing. So a lot of people put a limit on their belt and say, if I ever pass this belt loop, then I'm going on a diet or I'm going to make a change. Sometimes putting on your favorite pair of jeans, when they're too tight to button, that might be an alert for some people to say, all right, I'm not buying new jeans, I'm just changing something. Screen time, even for kids nowadays, there's alerts on your phone that alerts you to the fact that you've been on a preset amount of screen time, hour, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever that is. You can have your phone alert you to say, hey, that's too much, let's change your behavior. So that's what I wanted to share a little bit about today is alerts and being able to recognize when you're off track and then getting back on track as soon as possible. We do the same thing with our company. We track everything, and as soon as we think that there might be an issue or something that's off track, that's not in alignment with our company goals, we handle it as soon as possible, and then we try to create policies and procedures to minimize the possibility of being off track again. So that's it for today. Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year's, and hopefully 2021 is a lot more healthy and prosperous than 2020, and I will see you next week. As always, anytime, drop me a line.